Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Clarissa. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Leave me a comment down below. Leave this video a thumbs up if you find it helpful. And please feel free to go back and watch my previous pick a card readings as well as this one, obviously. Today, as you can tell from the title of the video, I was really trying to get messages or some piece of advice for you when it comes to your current life path that you're on. I feel like this will be for the people that kind of feel at a standstill right now, feel like they may be stuck or they don't know what the next best option is for them. And so if that is you, then this is definitely a good reading for you to watch. Regardless, even if you don't feel like you're lost on your current path or you're stuck or you're not sure which action to take next, this can still be very helpful and provide you with some insight into your relationships, into career, whatever it may be. I am anticipating that each pile is kind of different and will need different things focused on, but essentially for today's reading here is pile number 1, 2, and 3. So I have different lighters that I'm using today to differentiate the piles and kind of help you guys with your selection. I personally like it when tarot readers provide like objects or, like different cards or something to allow you to be guided better to pick or like pick whatever you're most drawn to or whatever it may be. Again, there is no wrong way to pick a pile in a pick a card reading. I truthfully believe that whatever pile you pick, there was a message in there for you to hear. So I would just say to pick whatever pile you are the most drawn to. There will also be timestamps for each pile in the description box below. So perhaps your lucky number will be in that timestamp. I usually will look at the whole timestamp and like reduce the numbers down the same way that you would in like numerology to determine sometimes which pile I am the most drawn to or what I believe which pile it has the most messages for me in it. If you're drawn to more than one pile, feel free to watch both readings or watch the entire reading today and then kind of decide what resonated with you most. But essentially everyone's different and chooses differently. But I will show you close-ups of these lighters here in a moment. So I collect lighters. I know that's kind of like a weird thing to do, but Bic always comes out with like really cool designs on the lighters or like different, like I believe they came out with like an astrology collection. I don't have that one, but they came out with an astrology collection that I will probably end up getting eventually. They come out with a bunch of different like collections and artwork on their lighters, and I think they're really cool. And some of them like you can only find in certain places, which I think is neat. So whenever my husband and I are traveling, we'll kind of look and see if we can find another lighter to add to our little collection. But anyway, enough about that. Let me go ahead and get into this so you have a better idea of what to pick for. So this will be the lighter for pile number 1. Let me hold it up to the camera here. Hopefully you can get a good visual of that. But essentially, like, it's just a tiger. There's like a cherry blossom tree behind the tiger. There are mountains in the background as well. This is like a really cool lighter. I've never seen this anywhere else. I'm pretty sure it's like close to burnt out because we used it a lot when we first got it to like light candles or, for whatever else around the house. And I'm pretty sure it's pretty much burnt out, but we love her, so we'll keep her around. Very cute. But that is the lighter for pile number 1. For pile number 2, we have this really pretty like red, orange, yellow, even like some pinkish color in there. It's like a marbling on the lighter. So really pretty. Hopefully this kind of helps you see it a little bit better, but it's very pretty. So this is the lighter for pile number 2. And then we also have for pile number 3, we have this really pretty rose. It's like a different multicolored rose. It's like dripping. I don't know how well you can see that, but hopefully that helps the camera focus a little bit more for us. But yeah, this will be the lighter for pile number 3. So again, pile 1, 2, and 3. I will give you a minute. You can pause the video if you need to make your selection for your reading, and then I will see you guys in the reading. Again, go to the description box for the timestamps below. You can click on whichever timestamp correlates with your pile, and then I will see you there for your reading. Thank you again so much for joining me, you guys. All right, hello there, pile number 1. Again, if you chose the lovely lighter with the tiger and the mountains and the cherry blossoms on it, then this is your reading. Again, we're going to be channeling messages from your spirit guides, from the universe, from whoever, regarding your current life path and any advice that they may have for you. So if you chose this lighter, you chose pile number 1, and you also chose this lovely card here as well. This is from the Whispers of the Ocean Oracle deck, and I'm going to go ahead and read this card to you, and then we'll go ahead and get into your tarot cards after that, okay? So let's see what we have for you here. Okay, we have number 37, look beyond the surface, avoid becoming distracted by surface issues, focus on the underlying motivation, cause, or beauty in a situation, seek ways to bring depth to your world. Okay, look beyond the surface, pile number 1. Love that for you. I'm going to go ahead and talk about that card a little bit more. I'm going to pull out your tarot cards as well. But essentially, like, what I'm getting with this card, with this particular message, is to stop focusing on things that don't really matter. Stop focusing so hard on things that don't have or won't have a significant impact on you, the people you love, your current situation. I feel like you may be an overthinker. You may be somebody that kind of gets wrapped up in the small, minute details of your life, of your day, of whatever. And Spirit, I feel like, is really saying to you to really just let go of that. Focus on, as well as like focusing on the things that really bring you joy, that you're really passionate about. Really focusing on those things more than anything, I feel like, will be beneficial for you. Especially here when we've got the focus on the underlying motivation, cause, or beauty in a situation. Seek ways to bring depth to your world. Yeah, let me go ahead and pull your tarot here too. I did already have those cards shuffled out for us from Spirit, so let me go ahead and take those out as well. We'll look at these and then we'll see what additional messages we get from this oracle card. So let's see here. Oh, all right. Let me actually start this way because this is the order that they came out in, if that makes sense. So we have the Page of Cups, we have the 7 of Wands, we have the 4 of Pentacles, the 8 of Wands, the Emperor, and the 8 of Pentacles. Okay, very interesting, pile number 1. Let me just make sure that you're able to see all of these cards, that they're in your line of vision as well. Perfect. Okay, wonderful. I just want to make sure, since I kind of ran into that issue with one of my first readings, that that you're able to see everything as well. Okay, so let me kind of look at this for a minute and we'll get into the message that I think that Spirit has for you currently. Okay, so I'm really getting the sense that maybe you have been focusing too much on things that don't really matter, things that won't bring any change or anything good to your current situation, if that makes sense. Like, I really do feel like maybe this is my overthinker pile, and you've been focusing too much on things that don't matter. And I'm also getting like the message that you may be focusing on things that won't ultimately bring you joy. And I'm sorry, I'm just going to apologize here in advance. If you hear a lot of heavy breathing or, you know, weird noises, or snoring, that is my French bulldog. My husband is gone currently, and my French bulldog is super, super clingy and needy. We love him for that. That's just who he is. I think that's just like how the breed is in general. And he just has to be around us all of the time. He doesn't do well like when we lock him away from us or, you know, whatever. He always likes to be with us. So since my husband is gone, I just don't have the heart to lock him out of my workspace room here. So if you hear that noise, my apologies, but just, you know, trying to look out for my little baby here. So anyway, let's get into your reading. Sorry about that little disruption there. I just wanted to explain, in case you hear weird noises in the background, that it is indeed my Frenchie. So again, we had look beyond the surface here, and I really think that Spirit is trying to say that, you know, maybe you have not been focusing on the things that your soul has been calling you to. Perhaps you've been getting like very consumed by the everyday mundane things that occur in life, and you haven't really focused much on like your dreams or your passions or the things that you like really want to do. So I feel like what Spirit is saying is that you're very much so living at the surface level right now, and you really need to take some time to reconnect with yourself in order to figure out what exactly it is that like your soul is calling you to do. I really truly believe that we all have like a purpose and a mission in this lifetime. And I feel like you're so caught up in the daily grind and the hustle and bustle and everything else that's going on in your life that you're really ignoring like your soul and your higher self and what you're being called to do. So Spirit is saying to dive deeper and really try and remember like what your purpose is in this life and why you came here and why you chose to reincarnate into this lifetime. If you don't believe in reincarnation or any of that stuff, that is totally fine. I'm not saying you have to. I'm just saying that like regardless, I don't really care like what your religion or your association is. Like I believe that we all, like all of our souls came here with some sort of purpose or desire or want, and I feel like you've been ignoring that. So even if you don't believe in reincarnation, I still think that your soul has a purpose for being here. And I'm really just getting the message from Spirit that maybe like you're a very much so like a free radical thinker. Like you are the type of person that like would believe that pigs fly or that, you know, humans fly or, you know, can float on the water. Like not the water, sorry, that wasn't a good interpretation, but I mean, like, you're somebody that literally believes in the impossible. You believe in things that, like, perhaps other people don't. And your brain is, like, this beautiful place where you kind of escape and you can daydream and you can think about all of the possibilities and the universe. And I feel like you're a very deep person. And you have a lot of, like, really cool ideas. And you're really good about, like, romanticizing a situation. Like, not in a bad way, but, like, you definitely kind of see things with, like, rose-colored glasses. And you are able to kind of see your situations or, like, perceive certain things in life differently than other people do, I feel like. And I feel like Spirit is saying that, like, this is a very beautiful, like, unique talent that you have to be able to really, like, see things outside of the box, if that makes sense. I really feel like perhaps in the past or even currently, like, perhaps maybe some of you have, like, a really cool idea that you'd like to bring to light or, like, that you would like to work on. Perhaps this is, like, your soul calling out to you and saying that, you know, you have, like, something really interesting that you could currently be working on, or that you have, sorry, like, it was really weird. Sorry, my hand just kind of, like, went numb there. That was, like, so strange. I don't know. But anyway, perhaps you have, like, you've always had like these very interesting, intricate ideas. And I feel like they're very like different and off the wall and whimsical and like very romanticized in your brain. And I feel like you're the type of person that gets an idea and you just get like so excited about it. And I feel that really coming through with the Page of Cups here. But I also feel like that maybe at some point in your life or even currently, other people really attack you for like your ideas. And I love this interpretation of the Seven of Wands. Like, this is one of my favorite tarot decks, I think. Honestly, I really love this deck. And I love this interpretation of the Seven of Wands as, you know, this individual that's really like in a bubble here and meditating and like keeping themselves grounded in their situation. But like, there are these wands, as you can see, that are like poking through, or like trying to poke at this bubble. And I'm really picturing like this is like, you know, this space of like serenity, and that, you know, maybe other people are kind of like coming for you and the things that you dream about or that like you have idealized for yourself. And perhaps like other people, because you have such like a beautiful brain and this ability, this mind that like allows you to daydream so deeply and to like come up with these really cool, crazy ideas, that other people may have really kind of torn you down for that in your past, or even like currently, you know, maybe you've shared that idea with people and people have kind of torn your idea down or like told you that that's, you know, stupid or silly, or like that could never happen, like that would never be possible. And I really feel for you there, because I feel like you think that it's possible. Like, just looking at this card, I feel like you think that, you know, what you're dreaming of here is possible. But other people really, really come for you and come for your ideas. And like, I don't know, maybe it's just like the people that you're currently surrounding yourself with, but I'm just getting this message from Spirit that you really need to ignore those things, that you need to ignore the naysayers in your life and be a little bit delusional and kind of just go for what you want. And like, I don't mean delusional in a bad way. I mean it as like, you know, other people may see your ideas as delusional, or, you know, like everybody thought that like, sorry, I'm like getting a little off track here, but what I'm trying to say is like, I think that all of like the best thinkers that have ever existed on this plane of existence in this world have been a little bit different, a little bit quirky. I'm like, really, I don't know why I'm getting like Aquarius vibes here. I don't know why. Maybe you're an Aquarius, maybe you have strong Aquarius placements, but I feel like there are just been like a lot of people in this world that have had these crazy ideas. Like, who came up with the idea that we would go to them, like we'd be able to go to the moon? Or, you know, who came up with the idea that we would have like planes flying in the sky? You know, like, there are people that thought that those ideas were ridiculous, and the people that believed in them and made them possible, like, they showed us like that the only thing really limiting us is our own mind, right? And like our own belief that we can do things. And so I really think that for a lot of you, you do believe in yourself, but like sometimes it's hard to believe in ourselves or like believe in our ideas when people are constantly kind of coming at us and tearing us down. So that's just like another message that I'm getting, is that you need to like stay strong in who you are and like your beliefs and the things that you think that are possible for yourself. I think that will be really important for you. Moving on here with the Four of Pentacles, I'm kind of getting the feeling that maybe you really want to go after this like idea, or let me also say for some of you, like maybe this idea hasn't come yet, and when it does, you're gonna be like super excited about it and you're gonna want to go after it. But what I'm getting with the Four of Pentacles here is maybe like you are finally at a place where you're kind of like financially stable, and you're like, I don't really see the purpose in going after this idea. I'm finally at a place where I'm stable and I kind of want to hold on to what I have. And I just really kind of get this feeling that maybe there is a little bit of self-doubt, but only in terms of like our financial stability. We don't want to do anything, work on an idea that we may have that may require some investment because, you know, let's be real, most of our ideas that we have in this world do require some sort of investment on our end, whether that be our time, our money, our resources, whatever. And I feel like maybe, you know, you're at a place where you just got some of your time freedom back or your money freedom back, and you're not like you're not like on a string financially, if that makes sense, or you're not like on a string with your time anymore. Like you just have a little bit more resources right now, but you're also like kind of clinging to them, and you're not really wanting to mess up those resources, if that makes sense. For some of you, I'm just getting that feeling. For some of you as well, I feel like maybe your issue is that the Four of Pentacles can kind of be seen as like the miser or like the cheapskate sometimes. And I'm also getting that vibe from some of you that you're like, well, I mean, this is a cool idea, but like this is going to cost me a lot of money, and I'm not really like wanting to put in that amount of money and invest in myself, invest in, you know, my ideas, because maybe there are, for some of you, some that don't believe in themselves, but also like with other people kind of poking holes at you or holes in your ideas or coming at your ideas, you're like, well, maybe this is a ridiculous idea and maybe I really shouldn't pursue it. Maybe I shouldn't waste my money and my resources and my time that I have. I'm just really getting from Spirit that you need to just go with this. You really need to go after this idea that you have. I feel like it's only going to lead you in good directions. I feel like by you going after this idea that you have to create whatever it may be for yourself, maybe you're gonna like start your own business, maybe you're gonna go, I'm not feeling this like romantically, I feel like this is, you know, maybe I really get like entrepreneur, like inventor type vibes from this pile of like, you have this really, really cool idea and you want to invest money and time and resources in it, but like you're also kind of scared too because you don't know what the outcome will be. And maybe this is like the most like crazy idea that you've ever had. And I'm really just getting this message from Spirit to go for it. I feel like there needs to be a lot of like forward movement action here. And things just will probably like happen for you quickly and fall into place as long as you keep this core idea that you believe in yourself. And that I really feel like with this, if you're, you know, a bit of a tightwad, a bit of like a cheapskate, a bit of a miser when it comes to your time and your money and your resources, I feel like I need to address that. Spirit is saying that whatever you invest, you're going to get back, okay? You're going to receive that back. I feel like we get so tied up in like the money that we currently have or like the financial means or like the physical assets that we currently have, and we don't want those to go away, right? We don't want anything to happen to those. But I feel like a message that some of you really need to hear is that honestly, that's how the universe rewards us sometimes, right? Like when you invest time and money and resources into something, you can expect those things to come back to you threefold, because the universe will see that you're very passionate about what you're wanting to do, that you have this drive, this motivation, and you're like putting things towards it, and where, you know, your resources go, energy will flow in that direction for you, and then those things will return to you. So like what I'm saying essentially is, don't get so tied up in the cost of everything, or don't get so tied up in, you know, having to have some of your time tied up or your resources or whatever, because that's the only way that we really grow. And I think that the only way that we like fail in a situation is if we don't even try, okay? Like you have to be willing to put yourself out there and try if you're like wanting things to change. And so I really feel like Spirit is saying to go with it, to just go and pursue the idea that you're wanting, and to really believe that, you know, those things are possible. And like I also am getting this message, so like I want to say it too, that, you know, I'm not telling you to like risk your whole life for something. Like don't, you know, bet your mortgage or your house or, you know, whatever. Like, don't do something that will make you completely insecure, but don't like hold on to and hoard money and resources because you're afraid that you won't have those things, because a lack mindset will only create lack for us. So regardless, like if you really believe that if you spend your time and money and resources on something that you won't have anything, then that's what's going to happen regardless. So like, just be wise with what you're doing, be wise with your decisions, and know that it's okay to invest some of those things into yourself, okay? I just really felt the need to say that because I don't know, Spirit's just saying to me there might be some of you watching that would like put your whole livelihood into something. And like, while I'm not saying that's a bad thing, if that's you and you feel comfortable doing that, go for it. I just mean like, I wouldn't bet my whole life or put everything that I have into something. Just like, don't hold on so tightly to your purse strings, essentially, is like what I'm hearing. But yeah, I'm feeling like we need to take action. Okay, I really just with this, I'm feeling like we need to take action in one direction or another. And like, I feel like we need to, you know, take some actionable steps to make this idea, this dream, a reality. Moving on here to the Emperor here. I feel like when you do this, I feel like I'm getting total like boss energy here. Like I'm feeling like once you kind of get through this hurdle here and you move forward, I feel like you're going to be in a very comfortable position. And I really do feel like this is reiterated here with the Eight of Pentacles. I feel like with the Eight of Pentacles here, you're going to be in your bag, okay? Like you're going to be able to be in a place of like comfort with your finances, with your time, with your resources. You're going to be in a very comfortable position. And the Emperor to me is a lot about understanding like that you're a powerful individual, but like using your power for good, if that makes sense. Like the Emperor at his best is someone that understands where their power lies and like what power they have over people or certain situations or whatever, but they're very strategic about what they do. Like it's very interesting because I don't know anything about chess, I'm not gonna lie, but this is like a chess piece, right? And the Emperor is very strategic about the moves that he makes. So I feel like you're going to be able to get to a place of discernment where you make decisions based off of what you anticipate the outcome to be, if that makes sense. And we're making very like logical, clear decisions, but like the Emperor is ruled by Aries as well. So the Emperor is very passionate, is like a natural born leader, is very driven, and the Emperor can, you know, get like hot-headed and worked up easily, but like I said, the Emperor at his best is someone that is slower to anger, strategic, and waits until that opportune moment to really go for what he wants, right? And I'm really getting that here with the Eight of Pentacles. I feel like you're going to take the time to cultivate what you're wanting out of this idea and this creative endeavor, whatever it is. You know, very much so getting like the opportunity to cultivate, to learn new skills, to really make this idea as successful as it can be, okay? So I'm really feeling like you are going to literally be in your bag. Like the Eight of Pentacles also, we're progressing and moving through the Pentacles here. You're going to have the means and the finances and the money to like continue to do what you need to do and do what you want to do. So don't let those things hold you back, because I feel like by going forward with this, that you're only going to be creating more for yourself, and you're going to be in this place. Like I also really get from these two cards just like very much so boss energy of like, you know, working through and like cultivating and creating this space of success, because the thing is that like pentacles are very much so ruled by our earth signs, and they represent the earth signs in the tarot. And earth moves slowly, but it is calculated in the decisions that it makes. And so that's what I'm really getting with these cards here. And also, you know, could be another message for some of you with like what I was saying earlier about be calculated about the decisions that you're making in terms of your finances and your resources and all of that stuff. Like, make sure that you're discerning with your decisions, but like, don't let fear hold you back. Don't let this fear of failure or that you're going to end up with nothing hold you back, okay? Because that's what I'm getting from a lot of you, that there is this fear where I feel like some of you are very confident in yourself. There may be some of you that are really letting the opinions of others get to you. And you really can't do that, okay? Like, you have to live your life for you. You can't worry about the opinions of everyone else in your decision making, because your life is for you. And I really feel like that is what Spirit is saying to you here, to live your life, move forward, you know, take actionable steps and be discerning with how you continue to allow this idea to manifest into reality for you. And make sure that you're taking the time to learn any new skills that you have to. For some of you, I feel like some of you may, like, depending on what this idea is here, some of you may benefit from like an apprenticeship or finding like a coach or somebody that can help you in your situation move forward. But I really feel like, you know, you're just going to be in your bag moment, like literally figuring out ways that you can strategically move forward to continue to make money and be prosperous. So yeah, that's what I have for you in terms of the tarot. Let me go ahead and look at the other cards here that I shuffled for you off camera, and we'll see what else we have here. So we have the lovely Moonology deck here, which I really enjoy, and when I'm filming this, like, again, this is a timeless reading, so you can watch this whenever, but when I am filming this, we are a day after the full moon in Libra, so it just felt very fitting for today. But let's go ahead and look what additional information Spirit has for you with these cards. Prosperity lies ahead. Look at that. New moon in Taurus. Let me hold that up here so you can see that. Prosperity lies ahead. So love that for you. We also have a new start is coming. New moon. And we have work through your fears, new moon in Scorpio. I can't make this shit up. Wow. Okay, friends, let's see here. Sorry that we've got this like one stream of light. I did try and like shut my blinds, but it's just coming in still. So sorry if that's messing with you a little bit. Let me make sure that we're still in optimal positioning here for the cards. Perfect. All right, so we have, again, prosperity lies ahead, new moon in Taurus, a new start is coming, new moon. It's funny you got like all new moon, so that's really kind of cool. And then work through your fears, new moon in Scorpio. I really love that they're all new moon, actually. That's pretty cool. I just kind of noticed that. For some of you, there may be some Taurus, Scorpio energy. Maybe you have your Taurus, you have your north node or your south node in one of these signs, because they sit directly opposite of each other on the zodiac. So on the zodiac wheel, currently, I don't know if you know this, but currently the north node is sitting in Taurus and the south node is sitting in Scorpio. And I am a Scorpio north node, so it's like having your node reversal essentially. And this is definitely a trying time. So if you are in that same situation, I feel for you, friend. I really do. And it can kind of like mess with our ability to like see what decisions we need to make for ourselves, if that makes sense. Anyway, I don't really know if I have a lot to add to these cards. I mean, they really do speak for themselves. I literally told you that, like, you can't let your fears hold you back when it comes to making your dreams or your ideas a reality. I really feel like Spirit wants you to really start trying to make those things a reality for yourself, and to not let yourself be drawn back by the fear of other people's opinions, the fear of losing your resources or your money, because like literally prosperity is lying ahead for you. New moon in Taurus, like I feel like something that a lot of you need to hear is that, you know, fear doesn't make you money. Fear doesn't do anything for you, okay? It just keeps you in a low vibration and only attracts negativity towards you and lack and more fear. So while I'm not trying to say that your fear isn't valid, because I think that we're all fearful to lose what we have, I'm saying that you can't continue to let those things hold you back, okay? Maybe also for some of you, like the next new moon that will come around, which I'm really bad about knowing that stuff, so my apologies, but I would just advise like looking that up and seeing when the next new moon is, and perhaps that'll be like a really good day for you to kind of get things started, get things in order for yourself, do some scripting, journaling, manifestation work, law of attraction work, things that will kind of help you get in a good mindset. I feel like some of you need to just be grateful for some of the things that you already currently have in your life, and gratitude, getting in like that attitude of gratitude will help you bring in more things to be grateful for, okay? I feel like Spirit is saying here that once you start to take action, like a beautiful new start will open up for you. And I really do get from this Emperor card that you're going to be building a lot of confidence in yourself in the best way. Like you're going to come out of this situation. I think that I really feel like this is going to be successful for you, obviously, because prosperity lies ahead. Like, I think that whatever it is that you're wanting to work on will be successful for you, as long as you believe that it will be successful for you. But I really feel like this is going to help build your self-confidence so much, and you're really going to have a better understanding of like who you are, why you're here, why you're driven to do the things that you do. And again, like as you continue to make decisions in the future, you'll be very strategic about it, very calculated about it. You won't make rash decisions by any means. You'll continue to make decisions that are very well thought through for yourself. And I love that for you. Like that is the message that I'm really getting for you with this reading. I do have some additional cards for you as well, that are also from the Whispers of the Ocean Oracle deck that I wanted to draw in addition to this card. So we went ahead and I shuffled off camera for you and got 2 additional messages from Spirit. So let's go ahead and go over those as well here too. So we have replacing what was lost, number 12. You now have the opportunity to rejuvenate and start anew. Create with a new perspective or outlook. This card may also indicate abundance is on the horizon. Wow. Yeah, dude, literally like prosperity lies ahead for you. I love that for you. Let me get into it here in a second. I want to make sure we're still able to see everything. We're just going to push these up a little bit. Sorry, y'all. I'm being like particular about my cards here, but I want to make sure that you guys can see everything. So let me just put this baby right here. We should hopefully be okay there. All right, y'all. Sorry. I know, so picky, but again, I just want to make sure you guys can see okay. All right. So again, replacing what was lost. So I really feel like this has to go, or this has to do with, you know, this new start coming. So by you starting things anew, and really looking at things from like a new perspective of, hey, you know, it's okay to invest in myself. I really believe in myself and the ideas that I have, the things I want to create. And by coming from it with that mentality, it's kind of like what I just said with, you know, you gaining this new perspective, this new, literally, it's like literally what I just said, with you gaining this new perspective, this new outlook on your life and like your situations, and just being more confident in yourself and having the ability to not fear the unknown, essentially. Like, don't be fearful of the things that you don't know what the outcomes will be, right? Because truthfully, we don't know the outcome of anything in this life. We don't know what will come of the things that we do, but like, why let those things hold us back? So that's just really like the vibe that I'm getting here. But I love that, again, we have reassurance of like abundance and good things coming our way. As again, I keep getting that message, as long as you believe in yourself, because whatever you believe, that is your reality. Okay, if you believe that anything is possible for you, if you believe that you're capable of bringing your dreams and ideas into your reality, then you will. If you don't believe that, if you truly to your core do not believe that, then it won't happen for you, okay? Like, I'm just being completely honest with you. So I really feel like Spirit wants you to believe in yourself, really wants you to believe in yourself and your capabilities, okay? The last card that I have for you lovelies today is Push to Surface, number 27. You may have become complacent. You might be stalling or in need of a new surge of energy. Become aware of the dynamics of your life. Wow. I'm telling you what, tarot impresses me every day. You really cannot make this shit up. Yeah, literally. I feel like some of you, the reason why we got this reading at all is because some of you are cool with just living in your head. You're cool with going to your job that you hate every day, being in a relationship that doesn't fulfill you, being in a situation that doesn't fulfill you, not listening to your soul, your spirit guides, the universe when it's trying to give you hints or, you know, help you along your path to whatever it is that your soul wants to accomplish in this lifetime. And I feel like a lot of you are just at this point, maybe again, it's because other people have torn you down through your life, or you've torn yourself down, or maybe you don't have that strong belief in yourself and you let other people's opinions get in the way. But I feel like a lot of you have become complacent and just living in your head and letting your ideas stay there. And you're not supposed to do that, okay? That is not something that you should do in this lifetime. You need to let those ideas out, and you need to make them your reality, and you need to believe in yourself and that you're capable of it. Bring your ideas to the surface, okay? Start taking actionable steps towards accomplishing the things that you want to. Don't just stay here in your head forever and daydream for the rest of your life and then think to yourself when you're 50 or 60 years old, well, I really wish I would have gone after that. Because I'm a nurse. I've said this millions of times. I am a nurse. And I will tell you that when people are dying, their biggest regret is not, oh, I wish I wouldn't have gone after that. It's always, why didn't I pursue that? Why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? You don't want to have regrets like that when you're dying, okay? Because I really truly believe that those regrets are things that our soul is like, those are things we came here to accomplish and we didn't do. Those are things that we came here to experience and we didn't do. So don't do that to yourself. Experience all that you're meant to. Take some risk. Have some fun. It's really not that serious. Sometimes I feel like we just take life so seriously, and we're ultimately here as a soul living in a human body and having a human experience. So have your experience, do your thing, believe in yourself, and everything will work out for you. And you really have to believe that, okay? You really have to believe and trust that everything will work out the way it's supposed to. And that's really all that I have for you guys today, pile number 1. I hope that you found this reading helpful. I hope that you got something out of it. I hope that the message that Spirit had today for you was helpful and insightful for you. And I really hope that you go after the things that you want to, and you don't let fear hold you back, because there's just no point or purpose in it, okay? So anyway, thank you again so much for spending this time with me. If this resonated with you, please leave me a comment down below and make sure that you like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in the next reading, okay? Thank you so much for joining me. Bye. Hello, pile number 2. If you picked the lovely marbled lighter here, then this is your reading today to try and get some more advice or information from Spirit, from the universe, from your higher self, whoever, about your current life path, the current trajectory that you're on, to provide you with some more insight and advice going down that path. So let's go ahead and get into it. You may have noticed that there's an oracle card that is attached with the lighter from the beginning of the video. This is actually from the Whispers of the Ocean oracle card deck. So we're going to go ahead and look at this card and see what we have for you today. So we have number 16, Inner Desires. Set some intentions. You are entering a phase of plenty or may have a sudden windfall. Goals are within your grasp. That's really beautiful. I really like that for you guys. So, I think that Spirit's really just trying to tell you to continue doing what you're doing. Don't give up, and things will work out for you. I feel like sometimes when we get to the end of our goal, to the end of our heart, like of our work, before things kind of start, working out for us, if that makes sense. Like when we're getting to the end of that stretch, sometimes we can start to become disheartened or, lose motivation, because we're like, okay, we worked really hard, we busted our butt, like, where is my reward? Where is the outcome that I was wanting? Where is the fulfillment of my desires? And where am I going to see these things come to fruition in my life, because I've yet to see them? So I just really feel like for a lot of you, I'm getting that energy that perhaps you're kind of at the end of your rope and you're like, I'm this close to giving up. And I really think that Spirit is saying to not give up on whatever it is you're currently working on. So let's go ahead and look at your tarot cards that I shuffled for you off camera here. And we'll get into it a little bit further. So we have the 10 of Wands. We have the Sun. We have the Queen of Wands. We have the Star. And we have the Lovers. And then we also have the King of Cups. Okay, very interesting, you guys. We'll go ahead and get into that here in a minute. I'm just going to make sure that you're able to see all of these cards here, so I don't want you guys to miss anything. Okay, let's see here. Make sure everything's in. Perfect. All right, you guys. So I think it's really funny. I'm just going to point this out. I think it's really funny. I was literally talking about not giving up on yourself, not giving up on what you're currently working on. And it's so funny that we have the 10 of Wands here. So the 10 of Wands is depicted a lot of different ways in the tarot, like in different tarot decks, I guess I should say. But in the original Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck, it is actually depicted as like an individual carrying like 10 wands and just like being overwhelmed and overcome by, all that they're having to carry. But it's very interesting the way that it's depicted in this tarot deck here. And this is actually the Light Seers Tarot, in case you're wondering, I always link the tarot decks in my description box below so that you can purchase them as well if you'd want to. But anyway, the 10 of Wands here is very much so giving me that energy that, like, we're at the end of our journey, okay? Like, you have climbed the mountain. You are coming down from climbing the mountain. You've worked really freaking hard at whatever it is that you are doing. And I feel like I'm getting the feeling that you are just done. Like, you're very much so emotionally, psychologically, mentally, whatever, just spent. And you're wanting to see, like, the fruits of your labor. Like, you're wanting that to come to fruition, because I feel like you've been working really freaking hard at what you've been doing. And let me just say, like, looking at the rest of these cards, I get such positive energy from these cards because they are very positive cards in the tarot. And I feel like for such a long time you were working so hard at this outcome. And, like, I'm just gonna say this, a lot of you, I'm feeling like maybe you are going through, like, you're coming to the crux of, like, your spiritual awakening. You maybe have been doing a lot of shadow work and really working on yourselves, like working on your mental health and all of that stuff. And for a lot of you, I feel like for such a long time, you never saw the end of the path. Like, you were just kind of trudging away, working really hard on fixing and healing yourself. And it's been a journey for you. And I mean, I feel like it is whenever anybody goes through these things, right? Because working on improving ourselves is a very difficult thing to do. Working on our mental health is a very difficult thing to do. Changing our mindset and the way that we think about ourselves and the world and other people is a very difficult thing to do. So I just want to commend you, and Spirit really wants to commend you for taking the time to do these things. And I'll get into why I'm getting that feeling from this pile here in a minute. But I feel like for a lot of you, that's kind of what's been going on, is maybe you're kind of like coming to like a plateau or like an evened out point of like your spiritual awakening. I believe that we have like multiple spiritual awakenings throughout life. So I feel like you've kind of done a lot of this initial work, and you're coming up to here, you know, showing us at the base here. So for a lot of you, you know, you've done the work of that spiritual awakening. You're going to go into the valley for a while and level out, and then you'll, you know, have another one and another one and another one. I myself feel like I've had quite a few spiritual awakenings already, at least like 2 or 3. And for some of you, I do feel like this is you working on your mentality, working on yourself, working on your ideas of the world and yourself and your situation, and really trying to have a better grasp on your own mind, and like your own thought patterns, if that makes sense. But I really do get that feeling for a lot of you that this is the case. And let me just say, the reason why I'm getting that feeling here is because of the way that the Sun, the Queen of Wands, and the Star is depicted here. I'm really feeling like you feel like you have this divine connection now to the universe, to your spirit guides, to your purpose, if that makes sense. And I just really feel like Spirit is wanting you to know that, like, you're coming out of your dark night of the soul. Like, for some of you, you know, for some of us, like, our spiritual awakening is that indication that, like, we need to do some shadow work. We need to work on ourselves. We need to work on our mental health. We need to heal. We need to heal, like, the wounds that we may have from, like, our family, from the world, from whatever. Because, you know, I feel like for me, when I kind of went through this last spiritual awakening here, it was me really realizing that I wasn't going to get anywhere unless I started healing my inner child. And for some of you, I feel like that may be the case, like, especially with the Sun being depicted here, because it's so funny. And in the normal, like, I guess in like the original tarot deck, the sun is also depicted as like a child, like basking in the sunlight, and the sun can come through as this card that has to do with, you know, our inner child being able to come out and play and feel the sun on its skin and enjoy the beauty that is life. And I really am getting that feeling from this, and I really love this for you. I feel like you're still kind of at this place where, again, you're going through that dark night of the soul, and you're really trying to figure out what you need to do to heal yourself. Or, you know, for a lot of you, I feel like you've already put in that work, but you're just like, okay, I've done all of the work that I can. I'm really trying here to heal, and maybe you don't feel like you're seeing any changes, but I feel like Spirit is saying that, like, things are really about to change for you. Things are about to, like, become so beautiful for you, and you're really going to be able to see things from a different perspective. And I'm really getting the vibe that a lot of you, like, are super freaking smart, and you've done a lot of, like, the textbook work to heal, right? But I feel like you haven't allowed yourself to feel the emotions yet, because I will say that, like, we can I'm trying to, like, find the correct words. Give me a second. We can, like, logically work through our trauma in our mind our whole lives. We can logically, you know, try and work through the trauma or the things that we've gone through in a from a logical standpoint our whole lives. But let me just be the first to tell you, you're not actually going to heal from this unless you allow yourself to feel the feelings too, okay? It's so important in your healing process to allow yourselves to feel all of the feelings, all of the negative, all of the positive, all of the whatever, like all of the feelings, because your feelings are always valid. And I will always continue to say that your feelings are valid in any situation, but you really need to allow yourself to feel, okay? And I really get that coming through here with the King of Cups. The King of Cups is someone who allows themselves to feel their emotions very deeply, but doesn't allow themselves to be overcome by their emotions, if that makes sense. Like, you are able to, like, this individual, like, this energy is very much so of, like, understanding the role and the importance that our emotions play in everyday life and in ourselves, because I feel like half the battle is being able to recognize that you feel a certain way about something, and, like, being able to sit there and be like, okay, well, why do I feel this way? Okay, well, why is it that this emotion is brought up when these situations occur? What is it that happened to me that makes me feel this way? Or, like, why is this my initial gut feeling? Or, like, why is this my gut reaction to things? And the King of Cups is someone that allows themselves to sit in the water and sit in the emotions, but doesn't allow themselves, is, like, stable in that, doesn't allow themselves to be overcome by their emotions, and very much so is balanced between their logical and their emotional sides. And so the King of Cups understands that in order for you to truly, like, process your emotions, it's important to feel them. And it's just as important as it is for you to feel them as it is to, like, understand why those emotions are occurring, right? So I feel like for some of you, you need to hear that your feelings are valid, and they always are, okay? Your feelings are never not valid in any situation. It's always a valid feeling for you to have. But what's not always valid, what's not always okay, is the way that we come about expressing those emotions, and the way that we can sometimes project our own emotions or problems onto other people, okay? So, like, that's never okay. Sometimes our response isn't appropriate, but, like, that's where your logical side has to come in and say, all right, like, I'm going to give you an example because I feel like this may be helpful. So I am a nurse, still, like, full-time. That is my full-time job. And I don't know how much you guys know about nursing, but it can be very stressful. Things can kind of happen, like, in the blink of an eye, last minute. And I was at work one day and that was the case. We got some additional like tests added on that day for a patient, and I was just like already super frustrated with the day. But I just, for some reason that day, really felt like whenever I was in the role of like, you know, being the person that does testing or injections or whatever for my job that day, or for my job, that like I was in the mindset that, you know, why does this always happen to me? Why do I always have to have crappy days when I am in this position, like in this role? Like why is it that like I can't just have like a nice peaceful day? Like I just felt like I get screwed a lot like when I'm in that position. And you know what? Like logically, that happens sometimes. Like when you're in a certain position or like working in a certain position or whatever, sometimes some days are better than others, right? But like I had just been having like a really rough, like honestly month. And whenever I was like in that position in particular, like whenever I was scheduled to be in that position, I just felt like I always got shit on. Like I felt like it was always a crappy day, and I got the worst cases and the worst like situations, and it was just like really hard. So that day was like really frustrating for me, and I was really working on like self-regulation, like regulating my emotions. And so I went to the bathroom because I had a couple of minutes before, you know, everything was going to kind of start. And like I caught myself and I went to the bathroom because I was starting to take out my anger and frustration on my coworkers who did nothing wrong and had nothing to do with like what was happening, and were just trying to be supportive and like ask me what I needed in that situation, ask me if there was anything they could do, which was like fantastic of them. But I was so frustrated that I needed to take a minute, and I went to the bathroom and I took some deep breaths, and I told myself that it was valid and okay for me to be frustrated and upset and like to feel a certain way, but it was not okay that I was taking out my issues on my coworkers because they did nothing wrong. And so I feel like that is like the epitome of who the King of Cups is, right? The King of Cups understands that their emotions are valid and the way that they feel is valid, and it's okay to have those feelings and like sit in them, which like I allowed myself to do for a couple minutes after that. I just allowed myself to kind of sit there and like validate for myself that it was okay to feel that way. But then I was like, I've got to move on. Like I've got to move on and I've got to go back to work, and like it's okay that I'm frustrated, but like I can't take that out on everybody else. So I hope that like that kind of makes a little bit more sense with what I was getting at there. But I really feel like for a lot of you, you know, you haven't been letting yourself feel the emotions, and I feel like you need to. And that's going to allow you to get to this place of, you know, the sun, which is like beautiful, as basking in the sunlight and allowing, like it's such a happy, bright card. I love the way this card is depicted too. I really feel like for a lot of you, once you allow yourselves to feel the emotions that are associated with your healing process, that you're going to get to where you need to be, right? Like you are going to be in this like you're going to be in your downward slope. You're going to be getting to this place of enlightenment and happiness. And again, like I said, I feel for a lot of you that it's a spiritual awakening, or I feel like for most of you with this reading that this healing took place because of your spiritual awakening. So I feel like they're kind of a 2-for-1. But I just feel like you're going to come out of it and you're just going to feel so much better. And it's really going to allow you to heal your wounds and your trauma and the problems that you've had in your life, and to allow you to look at things from a different perspective or viewpoint. Like I love that the Queen of Wands came out for you here, and I just love the way that this card is depicted in this tarot deck, because it's very much so like having the freaking world in your hands. Like it's very much so like she's got, you know, I don't know how well you can see this, so I'll lift it up for you, but she's got like this light, this like energy in her hands, and like I love her energy because it's very much so like somebody that is healed, that supports other people in the best way, but like also has the confidence to know that what they want in life, like the things that they desire, will work out for them. And I really do get that vibe from this card for you, that like once you have gone through this process and you're really in that state of like healing your past wounds, that you're going to have so much more mental clarity and like be in a better headspace where you really believe in yourself and you believe in the things that are possible for yourself, and you believe that, you know, you have the ability to create the things that you want in your life. Like the Queen of Wands is very much like this beautiful harmonious alchemy of like, it's funny because the queens all represent like water in the tarot, but you know, this is like Queen of Wands, so it's water and fire together, and like it's pure freaking alchemy when it's done right, because you have the power to be creative and to really allow like your desires to come true. And it's like this jubilation that I feel from this card of like you knowing that you have the world in the palm of your hands, and you have the ability to create beautiful things in this world, but also like understanding that it's important to tap into your emotional side and to be that support and that light and that guide for other people. And that's what I'm seeing here for you. Like, I really feel like this spiritual awakening is going to open up so much for you, and like you're really going to understand that you have a purpose here. You're here for a reason. Your soul is here for some sort of mission. I think it's so cool, this string here that's like connecting to me. It's like connecting to the cosmos. And like, I get this feeling that, you know, you're gonna come out of it understanding why these things had to happen for you to begin with. And I'm not trying to make light of your trauma, because I don't know, this is a general reading. A lot of you may have gone through some really difficult shit. But I really truly believe that we go through these things to learn something. Our soul wanted us to go through these things for us to be able to learn and grow in this physical plane. And I'm really getting that vibe. I feel like you're going to come to this place where you're just like grateful for the things that did happen, that got you to where you needed to be, so that you can fully express yourself and like not let yourself get so wrapped up in your emotions, that you're going to be able to like, so the Lovers can, you know, represent like us having relationships with someone else. And for some of you, I feel like, you know, you doing this and working on yourself and allowing yourself to heal is going to bring you to this place of like a healthy, happy relationship. Maybe you've had like, and that may have been part of your healing, is that maybe you've been in relationships with people that didn't support you, that tore you down, didn't build you up, that made you feel like you were less than. And I feel like for some of you, this will be like a beautiful, healthy relationship for you that you'll get into with another person that truly loves you and supports you and understands you, like on a soul level. Like, I don't know, for some of you, I'm really feeling like you getting past this point of healing will literally bring in like a soul connection for you, a twin flame, a soulmate, something along those lines. But for others of you, I feel like this is you like accepting your shadow self and like loving every piece of yourself, because we all have light and dark within us. And I feel like it's very important for us to understand those elements of ourselves and to truly love every piece of ourselves, because no one is perfect. And again, we all have things about us that, you know, aren't beautiful, and that's okay. Like, they're not our best, most redeeming qualities, and that's okay. But it's like really important to acknowledge those things and like accept ourselves for who we are. So I really get that vibe that for some of you that's the case. You know, you're going to be able to really accept yourself for who you are. But yeah, with the Star, I just get so much hope from this card that you're really going to understand that you're being guided to like accomplish the things that your soul came here to do. And I think it's so beautiful. I feel like you're on such a beautiful path, and that's why Spirit's really telling you not to give up. Don't give up on yourself. Like, you only have a little bit more to go. And for a lot of you, like I said, I feel like it's bringing in that emotional element to things and letting yourself feel the emotions of your trauma, of your pain, and working through that, because I really feel like that's when our most growth comes. That's when like we're able to heal, is when we allow ourselves to feel the feelings. Because again, we can, you know, mentally work through things all day. We can try and make things make sense from like a logical perspective, and like, you know, try and logically heal things. And while I think that element is important, I think that for you to like get to this divine place, to feel like you're being guided, feel like these things happen to you for a reason, to help you really discover your purpose. I feel like this is necessary to get here, okay? I really do. I feel like that's so necessary for you. And I just see so much beautiful coming from it, coming from sticking through with this process. So don't give up on yourself, okay? Keep going, keep pushing through. I do have some oracle cards for you as well today that I shuffled for you off camera. So we'll go ahead and get into those as well. I have a couple cards here from the Moonology deck. So we'll go over the additional messages that Spirit has for you within these cards as well, okay? So we have expect powerful change. Love that. New moon eclipse. Oh, got some things to say there. Step out of your comfort zone, North Node. Wow. And then we also have your hard work is paying off, new moon in Capricorn. I love this for you guys. Okay, let's get into it here. So first I want to address the new moon in Capricorn. Again, your hard work is paying off. You've been working really hard to get yourself to a place of healing, to get yourself to a place of understanding. And like, one thing that I'm really being called to say for some of you is that like, while I think that we only continue to like evolve and heal in this lifetime, I also think that it's hard to like be 100% healed like all the time, right? Like, just like people don't understand with grief that you never like fully get over like losing somebody or like grief for a situation. You continually work through the steps of grief, and I believe there's like 7 stages of grief. I'm a nurse, I should know that, but don't quote me. But anyway, like, there are all these different stages of grief to work through, and like, it's not a freaking linear parallel like thing. It's not something that like you work through one step and you're over it and you never go back to it, right? Like, it's something that can continue to come up at different parts in your life, and you may have already worked through all of the stages, but you like regress back sometimes because something happens, or, you know, it's a holiday and you're reminded of that person, or whatever it is. Like, what I'm trying to say is that like healing and like grief and like whatever, it's not like a linear chronological something that like can be done in order, okay? It's not something that like we don't have veers off in the path of. Like, it's not a straight line, okay? And that's all right. And I think that when you accept that, you know, you've worked through a lot of your trauma, but sometimes things may come up that trigger you. I think that when you accept that, you'll be in your best possible mental headspace, because again, like, it's okay to be triggered. It's okay for like things to come out that emotionally upset you, or that like things that make you upset in general, a period. Like, it's okay for emotions to come out in certain situations, but it's not okay to like let those things get the best of us. It's not okay to like get to a point where we wallow like in our emotions all of the time, okay? You can definitely do some wallowing, but like you have to come out of it eventually. And so again, I feel like Spirit's just saying like, don't give up on yourself, because your hard work is going to pay off. You're going to get this sun moment where you feel like aligned and like you're basking in the warmth of the universe, that the universe is like bestowing gifts and happiness upon you, and that you'll gain that confidence, you'll gain that clarity, you'll feel like you're aligned with like where your soul needs to be. So, you know, just keep that in mind. Don't give up on yourself. Expect powerful change. New moon eclipse. There's an eclipse coming up, end of April up until like May 15th or something like that. The energy will be felt. Girl, don't quote me on that. But I'm pretty sure that's the case. And if you are a fixed sign, but particularly if you are a Taurus or Scorpio, you're gonna feel that energy. You're really gonna feel that energy of the eclipses this year, because of the North Node being in Taurus currently. So, you know, I mentioned this in the last reading up for pile number 1, but currently the North Node is in Taurus, the South Node is in Scorpio, and I am currently in my node reversal, meaning that like my North Node is in Scorpio and my South Node is in Taurus. So things can be kind of wonky when that happens for you. So if you're in that same position, I really feel for you. It is not like a comfortable time by any means, but like it's not supposed to be, okay? I think that people get so wrapped up in this idea of comfort and like what feels good to them, and it's so important to step out of your comfort zone. It's so important to feel your emotions. If like your comfort zone is not allowing yourself to feel them and being like overly logical about things, I would like really implore you to like look up what your North Node is. If you're not into astrology, that's totally cool. You don't have to, but I think it's very interesting. And it also, you know, has to do with like what house your North Node is in your birth chart. But like I'm a Scorpio North Node, so for me, change is great. I love change, but that is not the case for everyone. But I really feel like for you, by you working through this shit, you may be a Scorpio North Node too. Some of you may be, because this is like, I feel like a lot of the energy of what Scorpio North Nodes go through, and like Scorpio in general is all about change, regeneration, evolving. And I would really just like advise you to look up your North Node and see what it is, because you know you can look those things up and then get a little bit more information on what your North Node is, and like what your goal, your destiny, your soul's purpose in this life is, like what you should be moving toward in this lifetime for your soul and your development. Because clearly, like with this, with what you're going through, you can clearly expect powerful change. I mean, my God, like you can see it in your cards. Like that's exactly what I was talking about, is how powerful you're going to become after allowing yourself to heal and like work through your trauma, and get in that state of healing and appreciation and gratitude to the universe for, you know, for having the privilege and being able to heal, but also like recognizing that your soul needs that, recognizing that you need that in this lifetime, and that's important for you on your path. Because let me tell you, not everybody recognizes their trauma, not everybody takes the time to heal. By you doing that, that's like, you deserve a lot of praise and congratulations just for that, because there are so many people that can't even recognize that they have problems to heal. So, you know, the only powerful good change and things are going to come of you going through this awakening and taking the time to heal yourself. And that's really like the strong messages that I'm getting from Spirit about this for you. I have a couple of other cards that I went ahead and drew from the Whispers of the Ocean Oracle. So they're from this deck that we talked about earlier. So we'll go ahead and go over those as well and see what additional messages Spirit has for you in these last couple of cards. So we have Adrift in Shallow Water, number 15. Take a few deep breaths and reconnect to your inner peace. Notice the small things and appreciate them. Wow. Again, I feel like gratitude is going to be very important for you. And I don't know you. I don't know what your trauma is. If you don't want to be grateful for your trauma, that is fine. You have every right not to be, because I don't know what your trauma is. And I don't know if in your situation I would be able to be grateful for it. But I think that regardless, like, you need to be grateful for what occurs to you after you've worked through some of this, and like once you're kind of in your healing process. And like, reconnect to yourself, reconnect to your soul, reconnect to your higher self, reconnect to that peace, that inner knowing that like you're on the right path. Because I really truly feel like you guys are. You're on the right path for yourself. That's why Spirit said to keep going. So just like keep going. And when you want to stop and when things get difficult, reconnect to the reason why you're doing it, because there is a reason why you chose to do this. So reconnect to that and trust yourself. And then we also have for you Surrounded by Prosperity, number 30. Your attention is being drawn to the infinite nature of reality. That which exists outside the known is beyond measure. Wow. Your attention is being drawn to the infinite nature of reality. Again, I really feel like this is relating to the Star card here. I feel like by you kind of going through this process of healing and working on yourself, I really truly feel like you are connecting to the divine. You're connecting to the universe in ways that you never have before, and you're understanding all the infinite possibilities, like, of your soul, of like your mission here, of your next lifetimes, of the things that you came here to accomplish. And I mean, I love that it's surrounded by prosperity too, because I really truly believe that like when we're the most aligned with our purpose, that's when we're the most aligned with like abundance and prosperity for ourselves. So yeah, I really love that for you guys. Okay, sorry about that, you guys. I think that my camera died there, so I'm just gonna make this quick with this last card for you. So again, we have the Whispers of the Oracle, or Whispers of the Ocean Oracle cards here. Sorry, that just kind of threw me off out of rhythm there a little bit, but anyway, we'll get back into it. We have number 42, Gentle Moderation. Take your time. Pressure from others or yourself can be released by renegotiating what you are trying to accomplish. I really love that. I feel like that ties in so well here. I feel like what Spirit is saying with that is to not feel like you have to rush through working through like your trauma, working through your wounds, working through all of that stuff, because it takes time. And like I said earlier, like it's not this linear resolution of your problems. It like these things can be triggered or come back up again in your life. It's really like about giving yourself the tools to like better manage your own, you know, negative mindset, your own trauma, your own wounds, your own issues, your own triggers, whatever. I feel like that's the point of like working on yourself. That's the point of like doing shadow work, of doing inner child healing, whatever it is. That is the point, is that, you know, you're trying to get to this place where you don't allow those things to impact you in such a negative way anymore, because you're able to regulate yourself better. You're able to regulate your emotions and, you know, regulate your responses better, I guess I should say, because that's the problem a lot of the time. When we're not healed, when we haven't worked on ourselves, we are triggered by things that we don't even recognize being triggered by. And then, you know, we take out our frustrations on other people, or we project our own insecurities onto other people because we haven't taken the time to acknowledge that we have wounds anyway that need to heal. So take your time and also like be gentle on yourself because this is hard work, okay? This is hard freaking work. And anybody that tells you differently is lying because it's difficult, but it's so worth it, especially depending on like what you're trying to accomplish. So again, like with what was it, the Adrift in Shallow Water, reconnect to yourself, reconnect to the reasoning behind you, you know, wanting to heal, behind you going through this spiritual awakening. What are you trying to accomplish for yourself? So before my camera dies again, I'm going to say that that is all that I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for joining me for this reading. I hope that you found this helpful. I hope that it provided you with some insight on your current path. And I'm sending you all of the love because I know how difficult this can be. So sending you all of the love and the best positive energy sent your way. Thank you again for joining me. If you enjoyed this reading, please leave me a comment below, like this video so that, you know, the YouTube algorithm recognizes it and it gets to more people that need to hear this message. And please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Okay, hi pile number 3. If you picked this lovely lighter here with the multicolored rose with like the drippings and everything on it, then again, this is your pile. So welcome to your reading. You may have noticed that I had this card turned with the lighter on top, and that's how you would have picked this pile. But we're going to go ahead and look at this card in particular because perhaps you were drawn to the energy of the card as well. So it looks like you got number 6, looking at the underbelly. Be sure that you are using your time in the best possible manner. You might consider taking time to organize yourself, or perhaps a project you are working on could use some fine-tuning. If you hear some noises in the background, my apologies. My cat is in the room, and this is technically her room, so we're not going to kick her out and make her leave. I'm just going to make sure that my mic is attached well enough so you can hear me. Okay, perfect. So again, back to this card, I really get the sense that maybe you need to plan out what you're wanting a little bit more, and I'm really bad at this, so I can totally relate. I'm very much like a spur of the moment kind of person, and sometimes certain things that we want to accomplish need to be planned out better and managed better for us to actually get the results that we want to, because there is like some level of discipline in making yourself a schedule and kind of making yourself follow it. And so if you're like me and you're not really a schedule person, it may be helpful for you to start like time blocking, or even getting yourself like a planner to hold yourself accountable, something along those lines. I feel like time blocking works pretty well for me in terms of me being like, all right, this is like the amount of time that I have today to work on this. This is the amount of time I have today to work on this, and so forth. Because it still leaves a little bit of flexibility. Like, I'm not saying that to the minute I'm going to work on these things, but it helps to be like, all right, from this hour to this hour, this is what I plan on doing. If I go a little over, fine, but I can't let myself get too far off schedule. So just something to keep in mind, that, you know, what you're wanting to accomplish may require more planning on your part and more consistency with when you're getting things done. I feel like if you are a procrastinator, this pile could definitely be for you, and it really could be Spirit's way of saying like, you need to get your ish together, because we can only procrastinate so much. We can only put things off so much before they kind of come back to bite us. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get your tarot out as well that I shuffled for you off camera. And we'll get the tarot cards out that you got for today's reading to get a little bit more of a deeper message with this. So we have, I'm gonna actually start this way because this is the way they came out. So we have the Six of Cups, we have the World, we have the Devil, we have the Two of Pentacles, the Ten of Cups, and you also got the Emperor. Let me just make sure that everything is aligned properly for you so that you can really see everything. And then we'll get into the meanings here of these cards. Let me just double check with my camera. All right, everything is in line of vision at least, so that's good. Anyway, with this initial card that we got for you, I'm really getting the sense that you may kind of be living in your head or living in the past more than you're living in the present. And the reason why I say that is because of the Six of Cups that came out here for you. This cup is very much so about nostalgia. It's about living in the past, or like really reminiscing on certain people that have been in our lives, certain situations. It's funny because this card is actually one of the cards that it represents Sun in Scorpio, if I remember correctly. And the thing about Scorpio is that Scorpio really loves to sit and reminisce on the past. And while I think that's great, I think sometimes we get caught up in the past in terms of like not letting ourselves really move forward, because we kind of get stuck and complacent in the things that have happened to us in the past. And while I think it's a beautiful thing to be able to reminisce on your memories and your experiences, I really feel like in this situation, for whatever reason, it's causing you to be stuck. It's giving this like vibe of complacency. And I really feel like it's emphasized here with the Devil. I feel like with the Devil card here, you have really been living a lot in your head and a lot in your past situations. And you may even, for some of you, be beating yourself up for the things that you've done in the past. And I really am getting the sense from Spirit that like you need to stop doing that. You need to stop reminiscing so much on your mistakes from the past, because we all have them. We all do things that we're not proud of. We all have a past or past actions that we aren't proud of. But the point of life is to be able to reflect on those things that we've done that we aren't necessarily the proudest of, and to be able to move forward and not do those things again. Like, it's important that you learn from your mistakes and you learn from the things that you've done that you may not be proud of, and that's okay. But I really feel like you're in this very negative space. I know this is like a super happy card. It looks happy anyway, with like this guy reminiscing about what it was like being a child with this little dog, with this puppy. But I'm getting the sense that for you, it's really blocking you from doing and accomplishing the things that you want. And I feel like that because the World is here in between these cards. And I feel like Spirit is really trying to say to you, like, snap out of it, because there's so much that you could be doing, so much that the universe could be giving to you and presenting to you. And I feel like because you're so stuck in your head, that it's just making it more difficult for these things to make their way to you, for these gifts from Spirit, from the universe, whatever, to make their way to you. Because I really feel like you could be on your path to like happiness, enlightenment, just like feeling whole and complete. And you know, it's like literally you're basking in the sun moment. The World is the completion of the major arcana in the tarot, and it's such a beautiful card, and it represents so many beautiful things. But for some reason, for some of you, I'm getting the feeling that maybe you don't think you deserve to be here either. Maybe because of some of the things that have happened in your past, you don't truly believe that you deserve the gifts that the universe is wanting to bestow on you. And I want to let you know that it's just not true. I mean, with the Ten of Cups here as well, you know, this is such, I love the Ten of Cups. It's such beautiful energy. It's, you know, the idea of having a stable, beautiful family connection. And, you know, it can be about like the generations of the family really coming together and creating something beautiful, or, you know, leaving a beautiful legacy. I just really love the energy of the 10 of Cups. And I feel like what the universe is trying to tell you is like, no, your thoughts are what are holding you back. You being stuck in the past is what's holding you back. And you do deserve these beautiful things that the universe wants to bestow on you. I mean, with the world and with the 10 of Cups here, it's very obvious that Spirit wants to give you these beautiful gifts. And I think that you may just be at a point where you're not necessarily ready to receive them, because you need to work on your mental standpoint, your mental, you need to work on your mental and emotional aspects towards it, or your mental and emotional state towards these beautiful things that are meant to come to you. I feel like for some of you, especially because we got this initial card of, you know, making sure that you really like plan out or like put plans into action essentially for what you're wanting to come to fruition. And I feel like for some of you, it's boiling down to balance. For some of you, you're having a difficult time balancing work and life, and like your work life, your social life, your home life, whatever it may be. If you're in school, your school life and your studies. All right, sorry about that interruption. If you heard that, that was my alarm to remember to take my supplements. So sorry if that kind of interrupted things for you there. I'm trying to think about where I was. What I'm getting at is that for some of you, you may really need to rely on a schedule or like a plan of action or time blocking or whatever it may be to kind of help you better balance things, because I get the vibe from some of you that you are very free-spirited. You kind of like to be spontaneous about things and do things when the inspiration calls. And while I think that's a beautiful thing, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that, I feel like at this time, Spirit's really asking you to be more cognizant of the time that you have and to use it in a more efficient manner. And that's what I think helps us when we learn to time block, when we learn to better schedule ourselves and the things that we want to have done or the things that we want to accomplish. Because again, it's so easy to kind of let things get lost. And I think they say that it takes like 21 days to like make something a habit. So you're really going to have to make it a habit for you to work on these things that you want. For some of you, it may be a business. For some of you, it may be like advancing in your career. For others of you, you know, it could even be a relationship for some of you. I'm not really getting that vibe from this pile, but you know, this is a general reading. So, you know, perhaps for some of you, you don't believe that you deserve a good, healthy, happy relationship, but you kind of have one in front of you and you're neglecting the time with that individual because you don't know how to balance your time very well, and you know, you don't know how to fit that person into your schedule or your life, but also, you know, you don't believe that you deserve to have somebody that cares about you like that. So that could be the case for some of you. I also really want to point out the Emperor here. I really do feel like a lot of this is more like career based for some of you. And I say that because the Emperor is, and I feel like maybe this card came out too because some of you really need to better adopt the Emperor's energy, because the Emperor is very strategic. He is very collected. He is very good at seeing where he can expand himself. You know, if you think about the Emperor as somebody like ruling over land, he essentially is able to survey where his influence lies and where he can expand his influence. But I really love that in this deck in particular, they show him with a chess piece, because chess is all about strategy. It's all about mentally outlasting your opponent and being strategic with the moves that you make, because it's also, I feel like, about being able to read your opponent and like try and figure out what their next move will be, because that kind of is dependent on like where you should move, but also like being able to make sure that your moves are strategic. Guys, I don't know anything about chess, so if I'm totally butchering that, I'm sorry. It's just like, you know, the vibe that I get from chess. But anyway, the Emperor is the card that represents Aries in the tarot, and Aries gets a bad rap, I feel like, sometimes for being very hot-headed and overly emotionally outbursting in points of time. I love a good Aries, and we have to like keep in mind that Aries is a cardinal sign. So Aries is meant to be a leader. Aries is meant to push forward. Aries is like the natural born leader of the zodiac. Aries knows when to push, when to hold back. Aries knows when to drive forward with their passion and their ideas and the things that they truly want. And so I feel like you need to really tap in more to that energy. And I feel like that's why Spirit is wanting you to adopt a better schedule or regimen for yourself, because I feel like that will help you better tap into this energy. Because when you do have a plan in place, when you do have kind of like a schedule in place or a plan in place of how you want things to go about, it does really help with like driving you forward. And I don't know, for me in particular, and maybe this isn't the case for you, but for me in particular, whenever I have like a plan of attack, a plan of action, it just allows me to be more strategic with how I'm going about things. But also for me, it allows me to really like focus on the path ahead and focus on the end goal and the destination, and be a little bit more flexible to with how I get there, but also being like, all right, these are my like things that I have to do. These are my like must do things every day that I have to do to get to where I want. But you know, if like one detail kind of falls off here, you know, some of the smaller details that aren't going to impact, you know, the outcome necessarily, if some of the smaller details need to be rearranged, I feel like when you have a plan, it's easier to go in and say, okay, well, let's just like change this up a little bit or change this up a little bit. When you don't have a plan, when like something negative happens, it can be such a big deterrent, because you're like, well, there goes everything that I was hoping for. There goes everything that I had thought about, because you didn't take the time to really think about, well, what happens in this scenario? What happens in this scenario? And don't get me wrong, like, we can't plan out every single thing that's going to happen, because we don't have control over every single thing that's going to happen. But I just feel like when you have some overarching plan or idea, it's helpful for you like with your plan of attack and like making adjustments and being like, all right, this didn't work, let's try this because this was our plan B. Like, you know, just stuff like that. So that's why I feel like people that are like better organized with this stuff, they ultimately do better, because like, what's that saying? It's hard work beats talent every time. You could be like, for some of you, who knows, maybe like you're an athlete and you could be like a really great talented athlete, and you could have some abilities that your competitors don't have, but hard work beats talent 99% of the time. Okay, hard work pays off, especially when people get so reliant on their talent that they stop pushing themselves. And so that's a message that I feel like is really coming through for you guys. Like, you can't stop pushing yourself. You have to keep moving forward if you really want to accomplish whatever it is you're setting out to do, okay? So I'm going to leave it at that with your tarot, and I'm going to go ahead and get into the oracle cards that I shuffled off camera for you to see if we have any like additional messages from Spirit that can kind of help clarify our message or add in more to the message here. Before I do that, excuse me, I just need a drink of water real quick. All right, thank you. I spend a lot of time talking at work. Like I've mentioned this before, I'm a nurse, and so I spend a lot of time talking at work. By the time it's the end of the day, my voice is just like, nope, we're done. So let's go ahead and get into your oracle cards here. So we have be bold and make the first move, cardinal moon. Oh my god, literally that's so cool, because like I was just talking about how the emperor is or the Aries represents the emperor in the tarot, and that's a cardinal sign. Okay, you guys, I'm sorry about that again. Sorry about that. If you heard that noise or anything, again, it was my alarm. This time I actually turned it off. Sorry about that. I thought I did the first time. Anyway, as I was saying here, I really think that Spirit is saying that you need to adopt this Aries energy. You need to be bold. You need to move forward. And the big thing is you need to make the first move, okay? Because a lot of the time getting started is the hardest part of anything. Once you get started and you have the momentum going, you're unstoppable. I mean, once you really have that momentum going, it's like pushing a boulder down a mountain. It's hard to get it to that edge and get it going, but once it's going, it's gone, dude. So I really feel like that's what you need to do, is you need to be bold and decisive, and you need to make the first move in accomplishing whatever it is you want to, because we're not going to get anywhere if we stay stagnant here, if we let ourselves reminisce on what could have been, or the past, or our past indiscretions, or our bad past decisions. We can't let ourselves stay stuck there. We have to be willing to move forward, and we have to make the first move. I really love this for you guys. I'm actually going to put it over here by our Emperor card. Okay, and then we also have luck is on your side, new moon in Sagittarius. I love how much fire energy I'm getting here. Maybe some of you are fire signs that picked this pile. I'd be a little bit shocked because fire always is bold and makes the first move. So maybe you have some fire element in your chart, or you have some heavily influencing fire planets that are in fire signs. I can't talk today. But it's very interesting. And I really do get the vibe that luck is on your side. I mean, like I said, we got this beautiful world card. We got the 10 of Cups. I feel like the universe and, fate and luck and whatever is on your side. You just have to make your plan and move forward. You can't continue to be stuck in your head, because we waste so much time being stuck in our head. We think about all of the things that could go wrong, all of the things that we could, that we maybe should have done differently, whatever. It's all a learning process, okay? Like, yeah, you're gonna screw things up. It's okay. Like, the point is that you stay consistent. The point is that you keep going and you don't give up. Luck is on your side. The universe is on your side and wants to help you. Your spirit guides want to help you and want to be there for you, so let them, okay? It's just really important, I feel like, that you understand that no matter whatever way you approach it, there's no perfect way to approach whatever you're wanting to achieve, okay? There's never a perfect way to approach anything, and everyone's approach is always different, because everybody is unique and has their own way of approaching things, and that's okay. And if you screw up, you know what, that's fine. You get up, you dust yourself off, and you keep going. It is what it is, like, nothing is ever going to be perfect, so quit waiting for it to be and just go for it, okay? All right. And you actually got 4 cards when I shuffled for you, so 4 of these cards. So let's go ahead and get into the other ones here. Your dreams need a practical plan. What have we been saying? What have we been saying? Like, what have you been saying? Your plans need your dreams need a practical plan, full moon in Taurus. If you're not an earth sign, which I am not, and I don't have very much earth in my chart, that I feel like can get in the way sometimes of our ability to put our dreams onto paper and really map out and plan out the things that we want. And I really feel like Spirit is saying to you, it's so important for you to do that. It's so important for you to take the time to do that. and to really get serious about what you want. And for some of you, I'm getting the message that it may just be like you writing up, like journaling, like scripting for manifestation purposes, and saying, like, getting very clear with the universe, like, these are the things that I want from this. And I feel like that may kind of help you too to, map out your plan of, okay, this is what I want. So what do I need to do to get there? So yeah, I really think that you need some sort of plan of attack in place, okay? And I think that that's why Spirit is reiterating that to us. And then we also have for you, conclusions are within reach, full moon eclipse. So I'm hoping that what Spirit is trying to say here is that you're like you mentally being stuck, that's going to end, okay? And to be fair too, like, you technically did get like 2 conclusions here with the 10 of Cups. Like, that is the completion of a cycle, and then the World is also the completion of the cycle. So I'm thinking that what Spirit is saying is that you're going to have this like aha moment, this moment of realization that what you want is so possible for you, and that you just need to start getting more serious about what it is that you want and how you're going to attack and how you're going to get it. And I feel like these thought patterns that you may be in, because for some of you it could be like being stuck in these old thought patterns as well. But again, for most of you, I just feel like it's us reminiscing on the past and really beating ourselves up about things. And I really think that you need to take some time to work on yourself and like your worthiness, because you are worthy, pile number 3, of all of these beautiful things that Spirit wants to give you. You're worthy of these things, okay? You have to believe that you're worthy, though. You have to believe that everything works out the way that it's meant to, and that everything works out with divine timing. I know that's hard, okay? I know that that's hard, because it took me a really long time to get there too. And I know it's difficult to like put your trust and your faith into the universe when you're like, I've never done that before. Like, I've always had to do it myself. And sometimes that in and of itself is like a toxic mindset or cycle, because truthfully, we don't do anything ourselves. Like, for some of you listening, I'm not trying to like downgrade your experience. Maybe you did really have to raise yourself and take care of yourself and do everything for yourself. But for most of us, we have people in our corner that help us. And it can be something as little as like someone making you dinner, or doing the dishes afterwards, or going to the store because you don't want to, or whatever. There are a lot of different ways that other people help us and make our lives easier and make our dreams more feasible. And so I really think that for a lot of you, you have to understand that it's not all up to you all the time. That's why you can put your faith in the universe, because we put our faith in other people, and other people do help us and don't let us down. Why would the universe let you down? Why would your spirit guides let you down? They don't want to. But you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that you're worthy, because you're blocking these gifts from coming and making their way to you by thinking that you're not, okay? So let's go ahead and move on here too. So I have a couple more of these cards from this oracle deck, the Whispers of the Ocean Oracle. I shuffled for a couple more cards for you, and we got 2 additional cards. So let's go ahead and look at these 2 and see what last messages Spirit has for you. Number 45, leaping through the air. A plan you have made is on track. If you are waiting for something, get to work and stop putting off ideas or projects you are considering. Spirit is speaking loudly to you guys. Like, this is like the 3rd card that we've gotten in relation to this. Like, you really need to make plans for yourself and stop putting your ideas on the back burner. Stop living in fear. Stop living in your head. Stop thinking that you don't deserve these things, because you do. And you really need to literally leap through the air. You need to take that that plunge, that leap. And it's like you're leaping and the universe will catch you, okay? The universe will catch you. The universe loves you and wants to take care of you. And you have to put your faith out there in the universe that the universe will help you and your spirit guides will help you and you'll be guided on the right path. And you really, truly have to believe that with your whole heart, okay? You can't half-ass believe it. You have to truly believe it. So leap through the air, pile number 3. Just go for it. Stop worrying so much about what everybody else is going to think, about your failures, about all of this, because who freaking cares? You're not going to sit there on your deathbed and say, oh, I wish I didn't do that. You're going to look back and be like, wow, it was so cool that I went after the things that I wanted, whether you get them successfully or not. Okay, and I do think that you will be successful. I'm getting this overwhelming feeling that you will be successful in the things that you go after. You may not be successful the first time. You may not be successful the second time, but you just have to keep going, okay? You got to keep believing that it's going to happen for you. All right, and then the last card that we have here is Shedding the Old, number 38. There is a change coming your way. Cultivate a sense of adventure so you will be able to see these new prospects. Okay, that provided me some clarity with this conclusions or within reach card as well. So I really do feel like you're kind of going to be ending old cycles for yourself. You're going to be ending this sense of fear and living in your head and worrying about the outcome of everything, and you're just going to go for it. I really do believe that you will. I really believe that you're going to get to a point where you're just like, screw it. I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to go all in with it because who cares? Who cares? It's your life and you have to live for you and you have to do things that make you happy. So don't worry about anybody else. Don't worry about if you fail. Don't worry about this or that. Truly, like, this is so cliche, but it's so true. The only people that fail in life are the people that don't try. So if you tried, you're not a failure. You learned a lesson and you'll do better the next time. And you'll continue to improve and do better because you're continuing to allow yourself to learn these lessons that you need to get to where you need to be, right? I really believe that when things don't work out for us, there's a reason why they didn't. And I'm going to tell you this story and I hope that it's like inspiring to you. So again, I'm a nurse and I felt called to tell you this. So I'm a nurse and I work with other nurses, surprise, surprise, the obvious. And one of my coworkers, her husband is a teacher and he really wanted to get this job that was at another school. I'm sorry if you're hearing that noise in the background. My cat is rude. She wants out of the room, but then she also doesn't want to be locked out of the room. My ADHD is kicking in, sorry. So anyways, her husband is a teacher and he really wanted to get this job that was going to be a little bit closer to his home. It was still like a good 20-minute drive, but it was better than the drive that he's currently making, which is almost an hour every day to work. And, you know, they were really excited for him to apply for this position and he really felt like the staff at that school really liked him and that they really vibed with each other. And then he didn't get the job. And then literally my coworker and I were talking the other day. Well, and like we had talked about it after he didn't get the job. And I was like, you know what? It just wasn't meant to be. It wasn't supposed to happen. And that's okay because something else will come along that was supposed to. There's always a reason, even if we don't understand it, why things don't work out for us the first time or don't work out the way we were hoping them to. There's always a reason behind it, in my opinion. And she's very religious. I'm not, but she is. And she's like, yeah, you know, I think that God has a plan for us. And I was like, I'm sure that there is a plan for you. And there's a plan, there's a reason why this didn't work out. And then the other day she was talking to me and she told me that there was a position that opened up at this school that's literally like 10 minutes from their house. It'd be such an easy commute for her husband. And he'd be able to pick up their kids every day after school and like all of this other stuff. And it'll be like a really great opportunity for him. And he kind of already has an in because he knows the person that's leaving the previous position and that person like highly recommended him. So y'all, he's probably going to get that job. And what I'm getting at is like, that is why the other one didn't work out because this one was supposed to. this was what was waiting for him when that door closed with the other job. And I really just kind of felt called to share that with you, because I really truly believe that if you believe that things are going to work out for you, they will. It may take time. It may not be perfect. It'll probably be messy. Things will probably go awry, but that's all right, because not everything is supposed to be perfect. And we're not supposed to understand right away why certain things happen. Sometimes we just have to, get that sense of why they occurred when that other thing presents itself to us. Like, imagine if her husband would have gotten that job that was super far away. He would have never gotten the opportunity to apply for this position that's literally 10 minutes from his house. So, I really feel like you guys are going to be shedding your skin, shedding these negative ideas of, I won't be successful anyway, so why even try? I don't deserve success, all of that stuff, because it's BS, and you do. You deserve to be happy, and you deserve success, and you deserve the good things that the universe wants to provide for you. But you have to believe that for yourself, okay? And I hope that that story really did help resonate with some of you and help you understand that everything really does work out the way it's supposed to, okay? And I believe that it's going to for you. So please don't lose faith in that for yourself. And, enjoy the ride, like enjoy the adventure of starting something new, because there's so much beauty in starting new things and having new endeavors and new adventures. And I feel like so much we get wrapped up in, well, this is what I want the final outcome to be. And you'll get there, okay? Believe that you'll get there, and you will, but enjoy the journey. Enjoy the things that you learn along the way, because that's where the real value is, in the things that you learn and the person that you become along the way. So that's all that I have for you, my lovely pile number 3 viewers. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this and it resonated with you. Leave me a comment down below and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in the next reading. Thank you so much. Bye.